Welcome everyone to my new segment on my channel called A Life in Film, Cinema Spotlight. While it's a bit lengthy, Cinema Spotlight for short. This is where I find either an actor or director and follow their career path down the line until their recent film. So I find the first film they acted in or directed, review it, and then I move on to the next one. Movies only though. Nothing much truer than that. So with that said, let's dive into Steven Spielberg's second film that he directed, but technically his first, because it was a TV movie. Duel. Light was being weird. Alright, so this is Steven Spielberg's first TV movie that premiered on ABC's Movie of the Week back in 1971 on November 13th. Retrospectively, this is considered one of the best TV films ever made, with an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and high acclaim for the use of symbolism, the practicality, and basic, simple premise. I find myself actually amazed on how unforgettable this movie is. This movie really does stick with you. This film stars Dennis Weaver as David Mann, who is just a basic man, a man on the road making his way to a business meeting, and not long afterwards he encounters the classic truck, which is a tank truck, I guess, a Peterbilt 281, unkept and very intimidating. But with his first encounter, David passes it, and unexpectedly the truck passes by him, giving him the first brush of the duel to come. This film is pretty simple. No use of special effects is used here, and not that I could see of it, at least. And the tension building is actually quite genuine. When you feel that there's no other way to rack up the tension between the truck intimidating David or David trying to elude it, they pull over to the side and they get into David's head, and the internal monologue is wonderful. Like, it's a brilliant touch on how David is reasoning with himself, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It's kind of like, to quote Han Solo,
"This is not how I thought this day was gonna go."
And that's kind of how David Mann is pretty much feeling. I have heard of this film for quite some time. After seeing Jaws for the first time and watching the behind-the-scenes featurettes, because let's face it, Jaws had a great behind-the-scenes story, I had found Steven making comparisons to his, Jaws film to Duel. And at gas stations, I found this film being, sold at a very cheap price at the bargain bin, but never brought myself to really watch it, mostly because I've had this idea, this whole new segment on my channel in my mind for quite some time, and I was like, let me save that for a day that I will actually review this film with a purpose for myself. And so here we are, and I finally got a chance to buy it, but not at no gas station, It's like I had to order that. Yeah. What I really enjoyed about this movie is how effective it is. On a technical level, it stays grounded. The use of shots keep everything moving at various different angles, hardly giving us the same shot twice. This is a classic man versus machine type story where very little can be seen of the man's storyline, where they touch on it a little bit, and the machine, of course, steals the spotlight. A small subplot with David's wife, like I had said before, takes a small precedence, but ultimately it's David's fight with this truck and how he becomes victim to it, taking the entire theme here. But I'd like to think if the fights you face away from your current conflict plays into as like a metaphor, it's kind of like growing as a person. And I feel like maybe that little slight touch in David's personal life kind of shaped him to be more of a man that he needs to be for, future endeavors or problems in life. Now, to be honest with you, I've never seen any of Dennis Weaver's films besides this one, and he was pretty damn good in this film. The work that went into this film is something to be noted, where the practical effects are helmed extremely well, shot expertly, and built the tension so genuinely that I didn't think any type of build-up like this was even possible. Much can be said about this film, and I feel like I've said enough like everybody else, but don't worry, I won't spoil anything here, but this movie is a pretty straightforward film. I loved how it was played out as a man versus machine TV film, and that is basically what I got in throughout my entire expectations of wanting to see this film. For that, I loved Duel and own it on Blu-ray. But I don't think it needs a rewatch. It's not always necessary because I feel like this film really sticks with you. So, have you seen Duel? And if so, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments. Be kind, be reasonable, and let's talk. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this premise, please like and share this. Spread the word. That would be fantastic. Please subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And with that said, I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Until next time.